Before we get into the video, if you have not subscribed already, please do, as I'm close to getting to the monetization mark. I'm about halfway there, so every little helps. And if you enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Just going to say as well, apologies in advance. I've recently been recovering from COVID, so my voice isn't where it should be. So I'm a little bit quieter in these next few videos that you're going to be seeing over the next couple of weeks. I'm recording in advance. What is up, guys? Today we got a video on Battlefield 2042 where I'm going to be going over the 7 best weapons, I believe to be the 7 best weapons anyway, for easy beginners or anyone to use. Some of these are like the first weapons you can unlock in the game. I'm also going to go over operator as well. I believe that Falck is the best operator to use, hands down. Not only is a syringe ridiculously OP when it comes to medding yourself, because I find in most situations that's where you sort of flunk out a bit, is when you're getting damage taken and you're trying to kill enemies and you can easily just med yourself, whereas a lot of other operators you can't, and I find that's where a lot of people go wrong. Not only that, you can also be a huge team player as well with Falck. I find she's highly versatile. I just hands down think she's the best operator in the game, and I think it's an operator that people should start off with, to be honest. Getting used to the feel of the game, getting used to being hit, getting used to finding where, you know, you sort of play best, what ranges, what weapons and everything, and I find she is just best overall. So the first weapon here is the M5A3, which is all round good for close, medium and long ranges. It's the first assault rifle you have on the game. If you haven't seen any of my class set videos already, I'll have a screenshot here where you can sort of pause it and just check out what I'm using. Obviously nothing's highlighted because it's a screenshot, but if you go through, I've got plenty of videos going over the M5A3 and how versatile and amazing it is, especially when it comes to low recoil. Works on both mouse and keyboard and controller as well. I find it is all round. It's just the easiest weapon to use in a game. You get it straight away. The attachments are easy to unlock. Second gun here is the BSVM, which you do have to unlock through challenges if you haven't got it already. And I will have the loadout here again, which I've done another video on. The attachments are pretty basic for the BSVM, but this is probably the best sort of mid to long range sort of AR class. Well, I call it an AR, but it's actually a marksman rifle, but it's just ridiculous. 2 3-shot kill if you're accurate. It has had a few nerfs, but the gun itself is still ridiculously overpowered. Here as well, you can see me using it at long range. Headshots, 2-shot kill. It's super easy to use. It's a weapon I don't think is really going to go away. People have sort of quieted down on using it, but it's ridiculously overpowered. And then the other one here is the SFAR MGL, which again is one of the best weapons in the game. Has little to no recoil, it's super easy to use. I can't remember what level you unlock it, I think it's around like 20ish. This is another weapon that just doesn't seem to want to go away. It's just shreds. Not only that as well, it also has the high powered drum mag, which you do have to get quite a few kills to unlock, but the standard issue drum mag, which is just normal, and that's super good, and that's always, you can always use that to start off with. Now the next weapon is the advances, which you unlock in Season 2. I can't remember what Battle Pass level you got to get to, but it's super easy to get to. You ain't got to stress out. You've probably already unlocked it if you've been playing the game for a little while. But the recoil control on this gun is nuts. I've been using a 200 round mag on this thing and it just never runs out of ammo. Hits super hard, high rate of fire, super easy to use, and it's always a go-to weapon to use. Next one here is the PBX, which is the first SMG you get on the game, which I think is still highly underrated. A lot of people don't use it, but you'll see from these clips here, it is ridiculous. I tend to use the long barrel with the standard issue mags. I sometimes swap to the Warhawk compensator and close mags. It all depends, to be honest, on the situation, but this weapon itself is just ridiculous. It hits super hard and doesn't really act like an SMG, it hits more like an AR. The next weapon here is the AK-24, which I was sort of debating putting in here because it is one of the more difficult weapons to use, to be honest. The recoil control is a lot heavier, but if you're using mouse and keyboard, it's fairly easy to control with the right attachments. The AK-24 as well is also one of the first ARs you unlock in the game. It did die off for a bit and it's sort of come back now. I see a few people using it every now and then. I use it on a fairly regular basis, trying to get the 1200 kills to get the final camo for it. Mastery unlocks. Next one here is the PP29, which I've done a video on recently. This is another weapon I've seen people use a lot more recently. It's one of the first SMGs you get. It is super good, and the high drum mag that you get with it is just ridiculously overpowered. You haven't got to worry about reloading too much. I reload loads anyway, that's just typically what I do. But the PP29 is a weapon that's sort of here to stay, and it's definitely one of the easier guns to use in the game because you haven't got to unlock any extra mag straight away.